Here are the 4 ways that we can ensure that you will forever suck with women.
Yeah, I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies.
Number 1, avoid scary shit. Avoid going out there and talking to a girl that you find attractive. Avoid saying hi to her. Avoid giving her eye contact. Avoid giving her intent. Hey, I find you attractive. What's your name? Never say that. Never find yourself in a situation where you can even attract a girl. Never go out in public. Hide in your house. Aside from work, stay in your bed, sleep as much as possible, play video games, and never ever give people eye contact. This will ensure that you'll never improve in social skills or ever find yourself in a situation where you could attract a girl. Hide from the world. Never step up to the plate. Never do things that you find scary. Never go chase your dreams. Instead, continue to work the same job you've been doing forever. Continue to make excuses for why you're not chasing that which you want to do and why it's just too much for you at this current time. Make excuses, because the excuses are driven by your fear. And in this case, we want to draw into that fear and we want to delve into it. The more you're afraid, the less likely you are to ultimately go out and attract women. So be afraid. Number 2, be stuck in your biases. Continue to say that it's your looks, it's your height, it's your race, it's your age, it's some denominator that you can never control. Because if you can't control it, then it's not your fault. Then you don't have to actually take responsibility for your life. Continue to look at this YouTuber you see in front of you and say that this guy's a charlatan, he doesn't know what's best for me. He has no idea what it's like to be bad with girls. This looks like a guy who's always great at this. It's not the fact that he's been doing this for 10 years, that he's been approaching tens of thousands of women, that he has studied this field so intensely, going to seminars, to lectures, to college lectures, Harvard, Stanford, to thinking this stuff through, to watching and working for 4 different companies, being the head coach for one of them, being the head coach for his own company, putting his fucking heart on the line, fucking trying his best to put this information in a way that you can understand it, even though you're such a fucking dumb. Number 3, fear the masculine. Because the masculine is what will attract the feminine. The masculine is breaking forth your tone. It's holding tension. It's not being afraid of hurting people's feelings, because he would rather be authentic as opposed to coddling everybody around him. He's not the kind of table that you round the edges on. He has those sharp edges, but he also has the empathy. He also has the love, but he also has the ability to stand up for himself and draw boundaries, to hold eye contact, to give people his real self, his authentic self. Don't be authentic. Be the color gray. Be normal. Be this person that will never offend anybody. Because if you don't ever offend anybody, nobody will ever truly love you. You'll never have anybody that's a ride or die. And the kind of guy that draws a ride or die person to him is a leader. Women like leaders. Don't be that person. Be a feminine guy. Be a feminine entity. Be weak. Be a leaf in the wind. Get blown around. When I tell you, fuck you, instead of you saying, oh, that guy's just a douchebag, you say, oh no, is there something wrong with me? Because that's the kind of guy that will never attract a girl. 4th and final one, be negative. Be a worm. Be a dark worm that is a leech on everybody around him. Be that anchor on the ship. When somebody is trying to get something done, instead of you plowing a path and leading, you instead are pulling back. You're keeping everybody back with you. You're holding the entire crew as a hostage. Because if you're this person, nobody will ever want to be around you. And if nobody's ever around you, if nobody's ever drawn to you, nobody's drawn to that emotion. Emotions are contagious. If you are constantly in this pit of depression and despair, and then you're also telling everybody why they can't succeed, being a crab in the bucket, when your friends start succeeding and winning, you pull them back down, nobody's going to want to be around you. Girls won't be attracted to you. You'll be a dark worm. Somebody one day might settle for you. God forbid. Hopefully you never have anybody that settles for you, because the whole point of this video is for you to continue sucking. But if somebody does ever settle for you, there'll be that guy out there that person really wanted to date. And instead of that person dating them, because that person also too never achieved their highest version of themselves, they settled for you. The same way you settled for them. And then you guys both backwards rationalize the reasons why you dated each other. And you guys never actually truly loved each other. You guys are stuck in this toxic, codependent relationship that will never reach fruition. You guys never truly loved each other, instead looked at each other's objects, used each other to get some semblance of what you guys truly sought, which was a real connection, which was real love. And you never found it because you're this toxic, dark worm. Thank God. Because now you don't have to step up to the plate. Now you never have to be good with girls. Now you never have to be looked at in a way. The tallest poppy gets cut. You're nothing but the worms beneath the dirt. You're not even the poppy. And you know what? Funny thing is, because of this, you're going to continue being that way. You're never going to take advice. You're never going to look outside yourself, and you're going to be stuck in your biases saying, this is the reason why I can't. When all along, you could. But realizing that would mean that you'd have to grow and evolve. So let's not do that. Let's continue the video. That being said, peace.
Pinocchio was transformed into a victim, and he's offered this identity, and he takes it. Now, it's partly because he's deceived and manipulated, but it's also partly because the fox offers him the abandonment of responsibility as payment for adopting the victim identity. So this is where his own lack of morality, let's say, because this is all about Pinocchio's development as a character, plays a role in his demise. So if I'm a victim, then everyone else owes me something, and I don't have to take any responsibility. And so one of the things I've wondered, here's something to think about. It might be that the sense of meaning that life can provide to you is proportionate to the amount of responsibility you decide to take on. And that'd be very strange if it was the case, you know, because responsibility, of course, is a kind of weight, obviously, and it's difficult to take on responsibility. But if any positive emotion that you feel, and your control of anxiety, and the control over pain, is dependent on the activation of these systems that watch you move towards a desired goal, then the more complete and weighty the goal is, the more kick there's going to be in the observation that you're moving towards it. Because of that, there's no reason for you to accept any responsibility. So you can live a responsibility-free life, and maybe one of impulsive pleasure-seeking, but a responsibility-free life, but the price you pay is that it doesn't get to be meaningful. Or you could say to someone, no, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to say, you can live a meaningful life, but it's only going to be as meaningful as the amount of responsibility that you're willing to bear. And then you might say, well, what would people choose? Because everybody also always makes noises about wanting to have a meaningful life. But if the price you pay for that is the adoption of responsibility, then it's not so obvious that people would choose meaning over, over pointless pursuits. If the benefit they got for choosing the pointless pursuits was that they really didn't have to care about anything they ever did.